from her garage. Fawkner is not Broadmeadows, and when we have very specific localised issues and problems that really need addressing. We are, I think, an unusually cohesive community. We are incredibly diverse, but we are, we're quiet neighbourhoods. We have very kind of ground, base level issues that need support and help. We don't necessarily need connection to Broadmeadows or to the Global Learning Village. I mean, what are you going to do? Bus? How are you going to get us there? Our public transport is lacklustre. Hang on, this please. We have a higher percentage than I think most areas, Meredith, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, of families on bridging visas who aren't allowed to work, who have no support other than the community house, which is massively overstretched, under-resourced. They've just been lucky enough to be granted a second site, but that only means that their very limited resources have to be stretched over 2 locations. That community house single-handedly supports youth, single mothers, the elderly, newly arrived migrants, people who can't speak English, people who don't have the internet at home. Our children, we have great kids in Fawkner. We have wonderful kids attending our schools. But they're sad. I don't know, like Colin, they feel they're disenfranchised. They look around and they know that they can do better, but their parents don't speak English. They have zero support when they get home. They don't even know what it's like to have anyone they know work in any company or run any business. They're running, I don't know, we're just under-resourced, full stop. I don't know what else I could say. And our community house is like, okay, so I suppose the question is, I understand what you've done.
Just quickly, all I'm saying is that's my lived experience too. Right?
Well, that's great, but you've been to Stanford, you've been to wherever the hell
I visited there. I went there. What I'm saying to you is, all I was trying to point to is there is a proof of concept.
Okay, can I just finish and I'll just answer my question. I'll just ask you my question. We need localised, grassroots support. We need hands on deck, and we need money going to the people who are already doing a kick-ass job supporting this community on what is, like you said, the smell of an oily rag. Meredith can't do it forever, and she can't do it on nothing, and she can't do it 3 days a week. I know that Meredith, she voiced this concern earlier, and I feel like that question wasn't answered.
I think it's the view that it's not local answers.
We need you to tell us specifically and locally what it is you could do for us. Because we are a kick-ass community who just has no...
Surveys in the street the other day, in the Fawkner Fence the other day, and then the needs were fairly basic. People were saying things like, just better parts, stuff for their kids, stuff for the young people, and enhancing the services.
Shade sales.
Doing an amazing job. So
water taps.
Just to go to it. See, what we're saying is, the key points I was just trying to make is in the past there's been a lack of coordination, right? So what I'm saying is there's a proof of concept model that coordinates 3 tiers of government, business and civil society, and it works. What I'm saying is there are specific wants and needs here, totally different to anyone else. That's why Fawkner is unique. I'm saying, and what I said at the opening, I've worked with you to find out how that works, because it's not a prescriptive thing. You're the people who know what you want, and then what the hierarchy of priorities is, and then how you try and put the teams together to try and make it work.
But we have families here who aren't able to access Medicare, who aren't able to access those employment opportunities, who don't speak, who can't help their children struggle through the education system, and who can't navigate basic day-to-day, just living in a city that has become, pretty hostile. Meredith?
I'm very sympathetic to some of the things that you were saying, and I can tell you, this is the thing I wanted to say at the beginning of my speech. I don't live in Fawkner. I haven't spent a lot of time here. Now, Frank lives in Brighton. Where do you live, sir?
Hang on. Okay, let's
no, so what I'm saying is, let me finish my point, please.
Well, let's finish the point. I've got a 40-year connection.
Yes.
No, I'm not saying
connection. Can I
no, because this will be what the campaign will be.
Can we listen to Jaime, because we've heard Frank quite a bit today.
let me speak.
All I want to say is the reality. It sounds to me like all the candidates and members need to do a bit of homework on Fawkner. And if I was you, what I would want to do is I would want to have more events like this, because this is really important. You're already giving your community a voice. And if I were you, what I would be doing, I would try to work with whoever the local member is. Obviously, it's going to be Frank, to make sure that there's an ongoing presence of Frank in the electorate, and that you are able to, on an ongoing basis, have a discussion to try to work around those local issues. That's what I would say. And what I would say is, clearly, a lot of us have been talking about Broadmeadows when you have been asking questions about Fawkner, and I think it's important to acknowledge that because it's true.
Just to respond quickly, the issue is I've known Fawkner for a long period of time. I used to play squash in the 3 squash courts just down the road here when I was a kid. I have to be your representative. That's what I'm saying to you. This is now the opportunity, and that's why I've pointed to a proposition that I'm asking for your assistance to make it work and to adapt it, amend it, adopt it. It's your creative. What I was saying is that, this was a creative response to an area of dire need. That was what we've been able to bring everybody together. And I agree exactly what's being said.